Hey guys, in this video I will be comparing the Fujifilm X-Pro 3 and the Leica CL, two very capable APS-C cameras with similar design and style of shooting. So if you are trying to decide which one to buy or which one to let go, stay with me till the end of this video. The conclusion may surprise you. And if you are new here, my name is Petr Gardian and I love to take photographs with all kinds of cameras and lenses. And on this channel I am sharing with you my experience with the gear I have used, related tips and even an occasional travel story. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. But back to the stars of today's show. If you have seen some of my videos, you probably know I like them both. I fell in love with the X-Pro 3 at first sight, and the CL took my breath away the moment I took it out of the box. But I don't want to make this video about myself, although I am going through a dilemma which one to keep at the moment, but that's for another time. Although if you do have an opinion on this, make sure to let me know in the comments below. So let's start with what these cameras have in common. As I said in the beginning, both are sporting an APS-C size sensor with a similar number of megapixels. There are differences in the sensor's technology, but that doesn't really matter to me and it should not matter to you. Both are capable of providing great results. Both cameras are designed to evoke the classic rangefinder style of shooting with brick-like rectangular shape and viewfinder in top left corner. For me, this is the best design a camera can have. It's timeless, functional and allows you to see what's happening outside of the camera if you are a right-eye shooter. I also like that my big nose is not cramped against the back of the camera, leaving its LCD full of smudges. If it was up to me, I would have all mirrorless cameras designed this way. We are no longer looking through the lens via a mirror, so there is no reason for viewfinders to sit in the middle of a camera body. Other than the fact that there are a lot of people that are still used to it and it gives the manufacturers more space for big sensors, IBIS and all the other important electronics that are cramped inside. But back to the design of these two cameras. The differences are obvious, but only a few are worth mentioning. First and foremost, the X-Pro 3 sports a unique hybrid viewfinder. I said enough about the pros and cons using the optical viewfinder in my previous videos and will not repeat them here. Let me just say that it is a nice to have, I do enjoy it from time to time, but I can definitely live without it. The X-Pro 3 EVF is so good that the optical viewfinder is more about the different feel it gives you when looking through it and taking photographs. For maximum usability and precision in composition, there is the great, big, high-resolution EVF. Leica CL has only an EVF, proudly sticking out in this blob. You may not like it, but it's important to understand that going with this design allowed Leica engineers to incorporate a long eye relief into the viewfinder. Eye relief is the distance between your eye and the eyepiece lens in the viewfinder. The longer the eye relief, the more comfortable it is to see the whole EVF when you are wearing glasses, as I often do. So even with lower resolution and refresh rate, the Leica viewfinder is nicer to look at and I prefer it to the otherwise fantastic EVF in the X-Pro 3. Bigger and most obvious is the difference in controls. The wheels on top of X-Pro 3 are marked and allow for an old school style of camera control. You can manually set ISO, shutter speed and aperture and see what you are doing on the outside of the camera. This is nice, but I've said it before that what I use the most is the camera in aperture priority with ISO controlled via the front wheel. It's just more comfortable and faster in use. Leica CL has 0 marks on the top plate, so you need to remember what each of the wheels and buttons inside them do. Fortunately, it's not complicated and once understood, this style of control is actually very effective, even despite the L-mount lenses with no aperturing. The little LCD on top helps to see what program the camera is set to, what's your aperture and exposure compensation. The CL actually made me use the exposure compensation much more. With Fujifilm cameras I would simply change ISO, but with Leica it makes more sense to adjust exposure. Obviously you can change this and customize all the controls to your liking on both of the cameras. Last to mention, and the biggest difference, is in the camera's LCD design. At first glance the Explorer 3 looks like a winner because its flippy LCD allows for a comfortable low angle photography, but you can't just pick up the camera up and shoot using the LCD. You need to spend the time and effort to fully open it up, and then it's sticking out like this. The Leica CL screen does not offer any adjustments but is always there, ready to be used. You can see these cameras are incredibly close together in the way of control, their abilities, and I would say also in how enjoyable they are in use. So what's my surprising conclusion? I'm going to disappoint you here by saying that both cameras are equally capable and I can't point to a clear winner. Leica has an edge in design, simplicity of menu and control. Fuji feels tiny bit faster to shoot with, is more versatile and has the optical viewfinder. Overall, for day-to-day shooting the differences are negligible. And that is a good news, because we can leave the cameras alone and accept the fact that it's about the lenses we mount on them. But Leica lenses are better, you may say. Well, I'm not so sure the difference is significant anymore. We are talking about crop sensors, cameras and lenses, and although a dedicated TL lenses for Leica CL are really good, making a quick judgment could be a mistake. The reason why I'm saying this is the new trio of f1.4 primes Fujifilm have released this year. The new 18, 23 and 33mm primes are all looking extremely competitive, and I can't wait to test them out and compare them to equivalent Leica TL lenses. Hopefully soon, so stay tuned. And what about you? Which camera do you prefer? Maybe neither of these two? I'm very interested to know your opinion, so please share your thoughts. Some of the best tips and conversation is happening in the comment section, so definitely engage down there and be part of our growing community. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you appreciate it. Like the video, let me know about future videos you might wanna see. And remember, there are show notes in the description. Have a nice day, and I will see you with the next one.